Today, we talk about one of the unsung heroes for the Mets squad who's actually a singer. We finally break down the contributions Jose Iglesias has given his team since being called up to the main roster just a few months ago. And even with Francisco Lindor going down with injury, how has Jose Iglesias really been part of our secret sauce? What's going on, Metropolitans? It's Mets Digest, your one-stop shop for Mets content all around the world. Myself, Flobo Boyce, alongside Mike D'Angelo, my co-broadcasting colleague, are breaking down the news, notes, and analysis from the Mets team you love so much. So do me a favor, if you watch this right now, doesn't matter if you're in Jersey, doesn't matter if you're in California, doesn't matter if you're in Europe, Asia, or even Antarctica on a cool excursion, make sure you hit that subscribe button. You don't want to be in that group. You don't want to be in that 76.8%. Those people over there who don't hit that subscribe button, just, make sure you're part of the squad. Okay, so what hasn't been said about Candelita this season? It really has been a revelation for the New York Mets squad. And you talk about people on this team when they say the Mets need a culture. People talk about Alonso being part of the team for years, even Lindor, who's broken out after that cold start. But really, it was Candelita himself really coming up and stepping up on multiple fronts. We're going to talk about that in just a second. But, man, look at that smile, man. He knows what he's doing. I want to plant the seed right now. Iglesias didn't play in 2023, but really, you don't really have a 2024 Mets squad without Jose Iglesias. Isn't that wild? You think about the home run ball. When the ball goes out the park at Citi Field, they play OMG, which is a Candelita song. Also his walk-up music. Every home run he's even made, our celebration is the OMG sign. And the song itself, if you haven't heard already, is pretty catchy. One man is almost responsible for delivering the culture. Yeah, shout out to JD Martinez for really making it bubble to the surface. But frankly, this is something the team has missed for a long time. About a year ago, we asked this question. Fans around and the different spaces in Mets Twitter or online forums and Reddit, what was wrong with the organization? Superstars come to New York and they wilt, and as soon as you ship them off, they do well. What is going on with that team? But we don't really have those conversations anymore. It is a fun time to be a Mets fan. The best team in baseball after June 1st. And even though we usually get discounted because of that terrible start we had in the season, and in May, we are coming for some of the heavy hitters. And a lot of it comes down to Jose Iglesias. Again, someone who did not play a game at the major league level last year, wasn't even in the mix, was thinking about giving up the sport entirely, because if you look on this picture right here above my head, 34 years old is no spring chicken, but being able to come back with a batting average that would have usually have rivaled batting title candidates, and also be one of our scariest offensive attacks with runners in scoring position, something that has plagued us historically. Like, as long as we've been a franchise is getting guys home, Jose Iglesias was that guy. In fact, his batting average was so high where our captain, or at least my captain, Francisco Lindor, went down with that lower back injury, who, as of this recording, is still listed as day-to-day. It's Iglesias that's in that top spot, and he understands what's needed of him, what's asked of him, and always finds a way to deliver. This one comes from SI.com that really talked about this in detail. I recommend checking out that publication if you haven't already. Entering Friday, September 20th. This is the Equinox weekend. This is why I'm wearing the fall version of the Mets cap here in my lower third. Iglesias carried an impressive 330, 377, 438 slash line across 76 games in New York. That's really important. He didn't play the entire season. They had some shuffles in the infield that allowed him to be called up. Filling in capably at second base, third base, and shortstop. Something that also Luis Acuna can do, and with Alvarez being in the mix, the New York Mets' depth is even better because of it. During his 13-game hitting streak, I'll say it again, during his 13-game hitting streak, he was gone 20 for 49, 409 with 2 doubles, 2 RBIs, and 11 runs scored. Those awkward losses we had a month ago, whether you're talking about the Philadelphia series in Philly, or San Diego or the Mariners. Yes, there were some issues with offensive production from the team. But on paper and in practice, Iglesias is one of those individuals who's able to put something on the board during the other games. This week alone, the past 3 games, the Mets have scored 30 runs over a 3-game span. That would have been unheard of in the days of Valdespin, right? In the days of Juan Lagares et al. So to me, why not? And I'm down with it. And again, the culture is important. We talked about what it means. The new lighting system in Citi Field has been absolutely insane, playing OMG after every home run. There was a viral video about someone who was on a plane landing into LaGuardia while the trumpets were sounding for Edwin Diaz, and how it was an absolute light show. And even though everyone complained about a week ago about the lack of people in the seats, and for reasons for that, there's many of that. You know, when you go to a Citi Field game, it is a lot less stuffy than our Bronx neighbors. It is a unique vibe, a unique environment. And a lot of it comes through the vibes we're building month after month. In fact, during June, that OMG concert was amazing. I mean, granted, I'm glad we won that game, but if we hadn't, it'd be kind of awkward. But being able to let your hair down and play with some of the meme stuffs and play with the idea of Grimace and Max Wiener and Seymour Wiener and Glizzy Iggy, this has really started the culture that we're so sorely needed to attract future talent, to make it a destination for entertainment, and ultimately get those dubs. We're talking about what that means for a team. This one comes here from The Athletic. I'm going to put it here on the big screen for you. When they demoted Brett Baty to the minors, they called up veteran Jose Iglesias, who has infused the clubhouse with different energy. His own song OMG became a Billboard hit in June, and the unofficial Mets anthem, because frankly, nothing will ever beat the Mets. It's played whenever the Mets hit a home run, with OMG signs populating the stands and shirts appearing in the Mets clubhouse. I have to get my own, to be honest with you. The song is about living in the moment and being thankful for what has been blessed with. It's no wonder it's made for such an easy rallying cry. That comes to you from Tim Britton and Brittany Giroli from The Athletic. Dame salud y prosperidad. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this all up today, because it's the last weekend, or one of the last weekends of the regular season before we go into the postseason. Hopefully we're a part of that. Is, as of right now, and I'm looking at the Vegas odds, you could pick the site you would like to. We're not really a betting site here, so I won't put one out on blast. You think about the Comeback Player of the Year award candidates. There are people like Chris Sale, okay, had a bit of a resurgence, not taking that away from him. Even Luis Severino, going after one of his worst years in Yankee pinstripes after going into one of the best one in Mets pinstripes. Jose Iglesias isn't even on the list. Talk about multiple double-digit game hitting streaks. Talking about helping to change a culture of a team. You're talking about not even playing baseball at the major league level in 2023, and he's there every day and batting leadoff, filling in for potential MVP candidate. And Jose Iglesias isn't even in the consideration from Vegas for being a Comeback Player of the Year. Am I off my rocker? Am I crazy? Why wouldn't you even have them consider? In fact, I think he should get some votes himself. Because if Jose Iglesias was not on this team, it would be a whole different makeup. It would be a whole different thing. I know. Happenstance, one thing led to another. We talk about how trades and demotions brought him up. But here is somebody that's going to have some bench time, and just like that overnight, was able to help carry a team when their captain, my captain, goes down. Got to give a shout out to Pete Alonso. Got to give a shout out to Vientos. Got to give a shout out to Luis Angel Acuna for contributing. But I do think we actually have some DNA here. We actually have the answer to the question, what does it mean to be a Met or a Met fan in the 2020s? What do you think? If you had a chance to vote Iglesias to be your Comeback Player of the Year, would you do that? How can you tell a friend about how good one man can contribute to a team in ways you really can't quantify, on top of ways you can quantify? Let me know in the comments below. Guys, my name is Flobo Boyce. You're locked in to Mets Digest. Thank you so much for checking out the video. And as always, it's LGM to the bitter end.